So again, you are at Reference Solutions Market Research, our program for this afternoon, and welcome. My name is Bethany Ross. I'm a librarian with Plano Public Library, and I'll be presenting today's program. I'll be assisted today by Jennifer Strange, who is monitoring the chat for any questions. And before we begin, I need to let you know about some ground rules that we've set up for today's program. You'll be muted during this program, and we'll have your video blocked. You will only see my screen. At the top of your screen, you can find an exit full screen option if you need to get to other things on your computer. You're welcome to ask questions or request that I repeat information at any time during today's program. You should see an icon at the bottom of your screen that says chat. You can click on that to open the chat window, and Jennifer can see that and she'll let me know what your question is. If you prefer, you can also use the Q&A feature located at the bottom of your screen to ask questions. Please note that any inappropriate questions or comments will cause your immediate removal from today's program. For all questions, we may answer you directly in the chat or the Q&A box. And if we don't get to it during the program, we'll check in at the end. On our website, there are additional resources such as databases that supplement today's programs. And we'll be using my screen to demonstrate today's reference solution database, and I'll be sharing other databases at the end. A recording of today's program will be available in a few days. So if you'd like to watch today's program and then practice with the recording later, that will be an option. So with these ground rules out of the way, let's get started. But before we really get beginning, a little class disclaimer. I do want to share and make clear that I am not a business expert. I'm a librarian. The purpose of today's program is to provide a tutorial for how to utilize the Reference Solutions database for market research and competitive analysis for businesses. This class will not guarantee that you'll be an expert at market research afterwards. The goal is that you are more informed and have more tools in your arsenal to continue in your entrepreneurial journey. For more business expertise, we do recommend connecting with our partners, Dallas SCORE, which stands for Service Corps of Retired Executives, and they provide free mentorship opportunities for those interested or already in the process of starting their own business. SCORE is available on a weekly basis for appointments at Schimmelpfennig Library, or you can access more information from our website at planolibrary.org, or visit the Dallas SCORE website, and we'll provide that link in the chat later. So this is today's program overview. We'll be covering an in-depth look into the Reference Solutions database with market research in mind. To do this, we will cover the basics of market research and competitive analysis, tools to support that research, and then we'll look at how to apply those needs to using the Reference Solutions database. As a reminder, if there are any questions at any time, please use the chat or Q&A feature. We will attempt to answer. I'll attempt that as we go along, but we will have time at the end too. So we're going to talk about what is Reference Solutions, what's market research, relevant market research questions, what is a competitive analysis, other tools, applying this market research, using Reference Solutions. That'll be a little in-depth dive on the database itself, and then we'll follow up with additional resources. All right. So what is Reference Solutions? Reference Solutions, a service of Data Axle, was created in 1992 and originally called Reference USA. You may have heard it referred to as that. It's a database that provides information to help you start a business, conduct market research, find marketing prospects, and more. It includes the following databases: U.S. businesses, U.S. new businesses, U.S. historical businesses, U.S. consumers and lifestyles, no longer automobiles, sorry, I meant to update that, U.S. new movers and homeowners. So those are the databases within reference solutions. So how does this help with market research? The benefits of this database are that it allows entrepreneurs the capability to look up potential industry competitors and perform a competitive analysis, determine their target market, which is determining consumer interest, and much more. Reference Solutions allows for advanced search by industry codes, geographical location, and will also pull up both the verified and unverified records of business management, including names, company profit, payroll, and more. So we'll explore more of these features in just a few minutes. Next, what is market research? Market research is the process of gathering information about consumers' needs and preferences to determine the need for a product or service. Accurate market research is essential for businesses of all sizes, to better understand their marketplace, their customers, and even their competition. There are two types of market research, primary and secondary. Primary market research includes two types of information, specific and exploratory. Specific research is precise information into issues or opportunities that have already been deemed important. Exploratory is an open-ended approach to information gathering when there is little information about a problem or question to garner more in-depth responses. Methods of primary market research include surveys, direct mail, interviews, and focus groups. Secondary market research is utilizing industry data that has already been organized, such as what you'll find in a curated database or list. This can include consumer demographics such as average salaries, consumer interests, spending patterns, nationalities, gender, household sizes, and more. This will be the type of market research that we'll focus on today using reference solutions. Getting started with market research can be overwhelming when you're either trying to start up a business or expand your current business strategy. These are some common questions to help you get started thinking about the kind of information that will benefit your business. What's the demand? What demand is there for the product or service that your business is supporting? Are there a lot of consumers with that interest? Is there currently a similar company that is doing a great amount of business already that would demonstrate that demand? What's your market size? What's the economic ecosystem like in your area? What's the income, the employment rate, et cetera? Where is your location in relation to customers? How are you pricing your product or service? And who's your competition? A competitive analysis is a process of identifying competing businesses in your area or industry and researching their strategies of appealing to potential customers. We touched on this on the previous slide, focusing on a competitive analysis beyond that initial question that allows businesses to dive deeper in the reality of their economic landscape. So this graphic shows a SWOT analysis, which shows strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And the strengths are the characteristics of a business which give it an advantage over its competitors. Weaknesses are the characteristics of a business which make it disadvantageous relative to competitors. Opportunities are the elements in a company's external environment that allow it to formulate and implement strategies to increase profitability. And threats are the elements in the external environment that can endanger the integrity and profitability of the business. So what are some other tools? We're going to talk about Google Trends and US Census Builder Business Builder. One tool is Google Trends, which is an analytical tool of Google that highlights and tracks trending search queries across regions and languages used online. This free tool tracks search term with comparison options, interest over time. It compares breakdown by subregion, related queries, top terms, and rising terms. Why is this useful for market research? Well, this tool helps entrepreneurs locate popular industry topics and determine consumer interest. If a search query is trending, that indicates a higher amount of interest in a type or category of product or service, that's a business that you could attempt to cater to. Another option is the US Census Business Builder, or CBB. This provides selected demographic and economic data from the Census Bureau tailored to specific types of users. This is another free tool that assists businesses in understanding their market. It allows for the narrowing of search results for demographic, socioeconomic, and housing data, business data from county business patterns, non-employer statistics, economic census and survey of business owners, imports and exports, building permits, consumer spending data, workforce data, and employment and related data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. So you might want to take a look at this tool. It's pretty cool. And while it is a bit complex, it has a lot of material to help users get the most out of it. So when you begin the process of starting up or growing a business, the first thing entrepreneurs hear is start with market research. But why is this important? Why is this data important to businesses? What can it be used for? Market research has plenty of applications. It can help you with business plans, calculate startup costs, marketing plans, business location, business management strategies, and growth plans. And while we aren't focusing on these applications today, much of the data that we'll be researching can be used for these applications. For more information on the importance of these things, try coming to our monthly TWOS, Team Up for Entrepreneurship Success group, or reach out to Dallas Score. All right, we are now going to hop into the Reference Solutions database. I'm going to switch my screen in a moment and show you how you can access Reference Solutions. First, I'm going to take a drink because it's important to stay hydrated. I encourage you all to take a drink as well. And on this slide, you can see the path to get to Reference Solutions, but I'm going to switch my screen now. And you should be seeing the website. And Jennifer, are you seeing our website?
Yes, I am.
Okay, great, thanks. So our website, you can get to it at planolibrary.org. And I think the easiest way to get to Reference Solutions is to hover your mouse over the library at the top, and then we're going to click on Research and Learn. So click on Research and Learn. And you'll have two ways that you can find reference solutions. Well, actually three. You could click on all databases and it pulls up a PDF that you can search for reference solutions. Or you can click on the business tab or the career tab. They both have a link to reference solutions. So I'll just scroll down here and you'll see it has some other information about reference solutions. It has a quick guide. You can watch a little video about it. And there's an intro video. So you just click on Reference Solutions link, and it will bring you to the Data Axle Reference Solutions homepage. Now, if you are on a library computer, it will see that you are in the library, and it will pop you straight through. But if you are accessing this from home, it will pull up a sign-in menu where you will need to put your library card and PIN number. And once you do that, it will port you through. All right. Let me get back to what I was talking about here. So right now, I'm going to demo the Reference Solutions website for you, the database, and we're going to explore two primary databases within Reference Solutions, the U.S. Business database right here, and the U.S. Consumers and Lifestyles database. So let's start with the U.S. Business. This is a great database containing close to 103 million business records and 4.4 million closed business records for users like you to pull from. Of these records, at least 18 million are verified and 85 million are unverified. Reference Solutions helpfully marks which of those records fall into which category with a green or gray V symbol on the record. Green means a verified record and gray means it's an unverified record. The basic selection criteria include company name, executive title, business type, sales volume, employee size, year established, and has even more options. However, it's when you are beginning, you don't have that information, that's okay. There are two main modes of searching, the quick search and the advanced search. Quick search is great for when you're looking up specific business entities. If you know the name of a business that you'd be in competition with and want to research their business data, this is the best method for looking that information up. So we're going to start with some scenarios. We're going to pretend that we're opening a bakery in the DFW area, and we know that one of our biggest competitors will be Emporium Pies in McKinney, Texas. So using the quick search function, if we click here on US Business Database, here's the quick search and the advanced search. I'm going to type in the company name, Emporium Pie, and I'm going to put in some geographic data that I know, which is that they are in McKinney, Texas. And let's view results. All right, so it pulls up one record. That means that we typed in the name correctly and it has the correct location. And now I'm going to click on Emporium Pies and we'll see more information about that record, about this company. So on this page, there's a few things I want to point out. First of all, I want to point out that this is a verified record, and we can see because it has the green V and it says verified. This data axle has a rotating schedule where their staff actually call and reach out to businesses to verify the information that they publish in the database. So this means that at some point, someone from Reference Solutions connected with Emporium Pies and McKinney and verified the information that we're going to look at today. So the page is broken up into sections. On the left side over here, I've lost my space here. On the left side, there's a quick links panel that acts as a kind of table of contents to make jumping around to certain types of information easier. It starts with general location information, and it shows any job listings that may be current, including their industry profile. SIC Standard Industrial Codes, NAICS North American Industry Classification System codes. These are really great information if you're looking to have a pie bakery but haven't looked up those codes yet. So you can see right here what those codes are. For pies, for the SIC code, it's 5461-04, and the NAICS code, it's 311-81104. All right. So moving on down, we look at business demographics. What do we find here? It provides the number of employees, data, sales volume, square footage of the business space. Square footage is an interesting figure to note should you be considering a brick and mortar location, as it gives insight into the needed space to run this type of business. This record also has the last updated on date. This record was last updated on August 2024. So this is really good to know that this information, when it was last checked, and you can determine if this information is current or out of date for your comparison. And the last updated on is right here. All right. What else? Moving down, business expenditures is another section that has great information. This section may have more or less information depending on the company. This record contains a variety of estimated yearly cost, which you might find useful for financial planning or for comparison. You can, yeah. And next, you can look at a company's business size history. So you can see for Emporium Pies that things really took off in 2014. And this business size history section shows graphs that detail the sales volume of the company location over a period of time and even employee size. These two graphs together help paint a picture of the number of staff to keep on hand to support a consistent amount of revenue stream. However, please keep in mind that some of these numbers are either estimates or, direct reports from census information. So moving down, the next section is business history. This allows you to see a location and management history. So we can see that Leslie Monk has been the manager or director of this location since it first began almost, or at least since 2017. As you go down towards the end, nearby businesses can be an interesting thing to look at. You can click expand and it's going to show you what businesses are around the business that you're for this record. So what businesses are around Emporium Pies. We can see this might be helpful for you to gauge uh, what would be drawing customers to that area of town. You can also click on the competitors report, and this section pulls similar or same kinds of businesses in a certain square radius surrounding this particular business location that you're looking at. In this case, it's sharing other pie bakeries within at least 200 miles. On this page, there is an option to download and print this information. You see those buttons in the lower right-hand corner. So if you wanted to download this information, you would click the download button. You would select what kind of file format you wanted, whether you wanted to do comma delimited. This is the most popular way because you can manipulate it the best, the easiest. You can download an Excel file if you happen to subscribe or have a copy of Microsoft Excel, or you could download a tab delimited file. Next, you're going to want to select your level of data. You can do the default is the summary, which is the name, address, phone number, and 17 additional data fields. That's a lot of information. You might want to have everything in the record, which would be even more. That's all the data. Or you might decide to do custom, and then you could select what fields you want. Maybe you don't need to know everything. This seems like a pretty 10 fields seems fine. Maybe you don't need to know the house number or the executive ethnicity, or, if you chose detailed report, you'd get all of this. But if you choose custom, you can come in and they kind of start you off with 11, and then you can remove those if you don't want them, or you can add more to it. So once you've made all of those, oh, and I should point out the data dictionary. This is a really handy thing as well. But yet you do have to download it, sorry. It can provide a legend for you to tell more about what these terms mean. But once you've selected which level of detail you want, you can either email yourself the record or you can download it. And you can select where you're going to download that to on your computer. So two ways of doing it. If you email it, it will be in the cloud for you wherever you go, or you can download it and upload it to your cloud drive or your local drive, whatever is best for you. Okay.
Bethany, we had a question.
Yeah.
Would you like to hear it? Okay.
Yes.
And it's saying, are online businesses also in this list, or is this only, or does this only show physical businesses? Is it possible to get an example of an online business or a smartphone app type business?
That is a really great question, and I honestly don't have an answer for that. I think that it will only, this database is going to record um, addresses, like businesses that have a physical address. So I would think that most businesses, even if they are a web-based business, probably have an office somewhere. So for instance, if I can get back here, um, go back, like Amazon, or what was the type of business they were looking for?
They were looking for a smartphone app type business.
Um,
So maybe like Shazam or something.
okay, yeah. I hope I'm doing that right. Now, would help if we knew. This is probably going to pull up a ton of stuff. I think you'd have to do a little research and find out more about the company, see if they, where they have filed their company. I think all companies have to file with the government and have a physical place. So once you had that information, then you could zero in um, within reference solutions. But that's a very good question. Um, and I'm sorry I can't give a more complete answer or example. Um, but I will look into it. So for our second scenario, we are again opening a pie shop in the DFW area, and we want to find out who our competitors are. We're going to try and determine what's the best area to open our bakery. So for this scenario, we're not going to use the quick search function. We're going to click into US businesses and we're going to click on advanced search. And you'll notice as soon as it pulls up that it's already different from quick search because there's all of these different options on the left that we can choose from. And at the top of the page, rather than the fields for searching that was on the quick search, there are more boxes. So we're going to select the record types that we want to appear in our search results. So pay attention to this record count box over here on the right. Right now, that's the total record count of all the records in this database. And we definitely want to narrow that down. So if we, as I said, the count is over 18 million. And if we add both the unverified records and the closed out of business records, that increases the count to around 91 million. And that's a lot of records to look through. So we're going to stick with verified business records. And that's what the default selection is. If you select both, you'll see that you get many more. It's going to take a minute. And I'm going to hit update count so we can take a look over. Yeah, that's a lot. So we'll just stick with verified businesses for that. Okay. Too many results in an area can either show that a market is oversaturated or potentially that the records are out of date. So again, let's stick with the verified businesses. Next, we're going to take a look at the left set of panels and options. It includes options to select features to narrow down our search. Each time one of these checkboxes is selected, a filter box will appear in that open right-hand section of the search page, and we'll see that in a second. And we'll be able to add more details to narrow down our results. And there's no correct order for adding these details in, and you can edit this search that you're creating at any point. So we're going to start with the business type section right here. Under this section, there's keyword SIC, NAICS, and major industry group selections, and we're going to select this one. And we're going to put the SIC code for pie bakers right here. I can search for it. And that's it right here. So I'll select it. And then I'm going to click on the NAICS field, and I'm going to look for retail bakeries. And search. And it's sometimes can take a moment, so be patient.
While we're waiting for that, I'm going to throw this other question, which was, if unverified, is it because they haven't gotten to that business yet, or is it that the business chooses not to get verified? And basically, I responded saying it can be for either of those reasons, and I believe you'll agree with me.
I think that's true. Yes. Okay, there's retail bakeries. And so now we're going to update our count and see if that narrows it down a little bit. It takes it down to a little over 73,000 records, so that's still a lot. So we're going to move on and try and narrow our results a little bit more. Let's go to geography, and that's going to be pretty important because we know we don't want to open our pie bakery just anywhere. We're looking for DFW. So if you select city and state, you can come in here and type the city that you're interested in. Sorry, we're interested in Plano, Texas. I should have said that from the get-go. So there it is, and I'm going to update our count. That brings our record count down to 89, so we're getting closer. If you try and do Plano dash Texas like this, it's going to take forever. So my advice is start with the city and then select the city from the results. Pick the state that you need. Let's see. We can also add other cities that are in the DFW area. So we can add Frisco, and let's add Allen, Texas. Wow, there's a lot of Allens. This is when you find out cities that are very common in the US. What else? How about McKinney? Can't forget Emporium Pies. And Garland. Let's try Garland. There it is. And how about the Colony? Wonderful. And lastly, let's include Richardson. There we go. Oops, not that one. Richardson, Texas. And now I have to find that one. Did it take the Georgia? No, it looks like it's all okay. All right, so now I'll update. Our count's probably going to go up. Yes, so 339 retail pie bakeries in the area that I've designated through the cities that I've selected.
You do have one from Kentucky in there, Louisa.
Oh, where? Oh, thank you. There we go. Let's try again. Okay, that dropped down one or two. It won't skew our data now. You could always, instead of doing city state, you could use zip codes as well, the same method. So typically, once an industry code in a geographic area is put in, the results become much more manageable. You know, we had over hundreds of thousands of records, and now we're down to 337. So from this point, maybe we would want to take a look at the results. And it's alphabetical by company name, but you can adjust this table and sort by city if you wanted to, sort by zip. It's very handy that way. We'll go back to company name. And from here, you could, again, download or print this information. And one thing I should tell you is I think it will only let you do one page at a time. Let's see. Yes. So even though there's 4 pages of results, as you can see, oh, I'm sorry, 14 pages. If in order to download or save this information, you'll select it, 25, these 25 records, and then download those one page at a time. Pretty sure it won't let you do them all at once. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. 75. All right, let's see. Download. Okay. Let's see what that looks like. So as you can see, there's a lot of information. This pulled up immediately in Excel because I have a Microsoft Excel, but you can upload it into Google Sheets if you wanted to, if you saved it as a comma delimited file or tab delimited file. So this is what you would get. And then from here, you can manage this table of information, however you want to sort your data. So I'm going to close out of that for now, and I'm not going to save it. And I'll go back here. Any questions at this point before we start our last scenario, scenario 3?
I'm not seeing anything at the moment.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to come back to the main page, and you can always just click on Reference Solutions in the top at the top of the page. It will bring you back to this page. And for this last scenario, we're going to want to look at the potential consumer need in the DFW area for our pie bakery. And so for this scenario, we are going to switch to the U.S. Consumers and Lifestyles database. By the way, if you want more information about any of these databases, you can click on that information tag, and it will tell you how they gather this information and what the selection criteria it is used. So that can be helpful for you. So just keep that in mind. So let me click in here. Again, we can do a quick search or we can do an advanced search. And for this particular application, we are going to, again, use the advanced search where we will be able to select all of these different, from all of these different filters. So the advanced search page looks similar to the US business advanced search page. And to start our search, we can choose all contacts in a household or one per household. So we'll stick with the all per household for now. And we're going to start with housing selections from the left side. So let me scroll down. It defaults to contacts per household. And we're going to also select estimated home income. And actually, I'm going to take off contacts per household. I just really want to know what the estimated home income is. There we go. Now we are working off determining the need affordability of a pie bakery. And if a business wanted to cater towards more luxury goods, then selecting or limiting to a higher income would make sense. This would follows for goods or services that would cost less. So these are things to keep in mind, and this is why this section is beneficial. So I'm going to go in here right now and I'm going to say, let's include household incomes of 60,000 to 500. Oops. I guess I have to select each one. Just like that. And again, our record count right now is over a lot, 322, more than that, 320, more than 322,000. So we're going to see if we can narrow that down a little bit by making our selections. I've selected my estimated home income. Now I'm going to go down to geography right here. And I'm going to add in desired cities. And actually, this time I'm going to choose metro area. So that's going to allow me to just look at all of DFW. I'll select the state and then Dallas. And there's Dallas-Fort Worth. So I add that in. And let me update to see if our record count narrows. It does. That's great. Let's see what else we can narrow. So now, if you go down to lifestyle interests, this is about this section. Think about this section as the consumer version of the SIC NAICS codes. So you want to select the industry of interest that most aligns with your retail. We're looking to match up with pies, and in some cases, this may not work. Keep in mind that target audience information will provide the most benefit to determining potential consumer interest. So if I click on lifestyles, here's all the different codes. I think we could say people who want to buy pies might be interested in cooking and wine. They might subscribe to food magazines. So I'm going to include food magazine. I'm going to include books and magazines. They might, I think that's probably what I'm going to stick with for now. Well, maybe health and diet. Who knows? Uh, Pies could be healthy for your diet. And now I'm going to click update count. So that narrowed it a little bit more. And then under consumer snapshot, this is where you can input target audience data. So an entrepreneur's product or service will have a target audience in mind. This section allows for the narrowing down of specific demographic information like age, marital status, ethnicity, gender, home ownership, income, language, and more. So I'm going to say, let's look at ages of people who really are probably going to be able to, so not children, we're going to choose adults and maybe not even, we'll just narrow it to that. What else is here? Um, we can select homeowners. We want people who own homes. We've already done kind of income, so I think we'll leave it at that. And maybe we'll include if there's a grandparent living at home, because maybe we assume that people with grandparents at home will want to buy pies often. So let's update our count. And that significantly narrows our count. It tells us that over 64,000 of these records have an email address included. So let's take a look at the results. Oh, the data summary view results will allow for the results to generate a chart, matrix, or a table. The table will provide more filter options to view certain facets of the data pulled. Once created, the results can be downloaded the same as we've done previously. So let's see, show summary. So that gives us a very nice looking chart right there. We can always go back and revise our search. We can select a different chart. We come over here, choose matrix, see what that looks like. Oops, have to compare some things. Try that. So I have to admit, I have not done a lot with the data summary, but I leave that to you to dig in and see what you can find, how this data information, how you can manipulate it and make it give you a good picture of what you're looking for your demographic. And as always, you can export this to Excel or you can print it. So with that, we've come to the end of our scenarios. I'm going to jump back into our PowerPoint unless anyone has any questions about the database while we're still here.
I have not gotten any questions so far.
Okay. I do encourage you to, log into the database and take a look at all of the different databases. It's a really interesting tool, and I think you'll get a lot out of it. So let me get back to the PowerPoint now. One moment. All right. So I wanted to let you know about some upcoming programs. I mentioned earlier TWOS, which is the Team Up for Entrepreneurship Success. There are two different programs coming up. TWOS always meets on Tuesdays. And Startup Basics is on January 28th, and the Power of Networking is on February 25th. TWOS meets from 6:30 to 8 p.m. So Choose is a monthly meeting and it offers opportunities for networking, problem solving, access to resources, and coaching with SCORE mentors, subject matter experts, and Plano Library staff. Group discussion follows a brief business-focused presentation, so you can bring your challenges to the group for input, resources, and solutions. And just a few additional resources. You can get to LinkedIn Learning, Udemy, Gale Entrepreneurship, Gale Business Insights from our Research and Learn page on our website. So we'll get that into the chat as well, that link. That's where you would go to get to reference solutions. So, check out the business and career tabs on the Research and Learn page. You can take some time and dig into some of these other databases. I'd also recommend that you visit the library's YouTube channel. This program is being recorded, and you can find it there in a couple days. And you can find other business-related programs that we've done in the past, webinars that might fill in some gaps in your knowledge. So take a look at our YouTube channel. And finally, check out the Dallas SCORE Mentors webpage. So put a link in for you.
We had a question. What are Gale Entrepreneurship and Business Insights?
Let's take a moment and take a look at those. 1 second. So Gale Entrepreneurship, it is a database that has where you can analyze business insights, tips, strategies, and success stories. It's updated daily. This is great for business school um, students and entrepreneurs. I'm sorry, that's pretty much all I can tell you for that. And it differs from Gale Business because Gale Business um, helps you learn how to start, finance, and manage your small business. And it includes sample business plans, how-to guides, articles, and more. I also should point out Gale legal forms because if you are starting a business, you may need to submit legal documents, and Gale legal forms is great for that. It has templates that you can use and modify. So that's also really good. So there's a lot to look at on the business tab on Research and Learn. And I hope that answered your question.
Yes, he said thank you.
Okay, great. All right. 1 sec. All right, that brings us to the end of our program. You had some really good questions, and I'll be double checking the answers that we gave. And your feedback helps us improve our programs. So if there were questions that you felt like you wanted to get more feedback on, please email me and I'll do some more research. That's my email right there, bross@plano.gov. Like I said, I'm not an expert in this topic, but I can definitely find out the information for you. And again, I encourage you to try out this great resource. I think you'll find it very interesting and it's very user-friendly, easy to use. They also have their own tutorials that are very handy. So you can check those out on the website as well, on the Reference Solutions website. All right, if there's no more questions, I'd like to thank you for attending this virtual program. Check out all of our resources at planolibrary.org and please stay warm the rest of the week.